So based on my experience with plantar fasciitis patients, there are 5 common limitations of the foot that can be improved with specific exercises. These are greater toe extension stiffness, poor dorsiflex ankle range of motion, weak peroneal strength, weak ankle inversion strength, and lack of hip and knee stability and strength. So let's go through these exercises that you can perform to address these certain imbalances. Now, it's also important to know that you might need to do a combination of these exercises for an extended period of time to notice any benefit. Everybody is different. So depending on the situation, one exercise might be a bit more important for you than another. The first batch of exercise we'll go through will be to help improve your big toes extension mobility. And there are many reasons why you want sufficient greater toe extension, but the 2 that stand out to me is its ability to help you maintain your arch as you walk to allow for shock absorption. And number 2, the ability for it to propel you forward as your big toe goes from extension into flexion. Now, there are several exercises that can help you with your big toe mobility. One of the most basic is passive toe extension, where you grab your greater toe and pinch it up towards yourself. You might need to hold this position for at least 30 seconds to feel a significant effect. Another exercise is actively extending your toe upwards. Make sure you focus on stretching your big toe to your upper limits for multiple repetitions. For a more functional exercise, I would consider bent knee and straight leg calf raises in toe extension. You can wedge something underneath your big toe as you allow your heel to raise. As with all mobility exercise, the more repetitions, the merrier. For a noticeable effect, I'd be recommending at least 100 repetitions with any variety of sets. The second lot of exercises are there to help improve your dorsiflexion range of motion. And this is particularly important for several reasons. The first being assisting with foot clearance as you enter a heel strike motion. And as you land, helping you absorb the impact on the ground, which takes away stress from the plantar fascia. There are several reasons that can limit your dorsiflexion, which include poor ankle mobility, tight plantar flexors, and weak dorsiflexors, particularly your tibialis anterior. To improve ankle mobility, you can opt for a knee over toe stretch, holding it for at least 30 seconds and repeating this multiple times a day. You can focus on improving ankle mobility by positioning yourself in a deep squat and holding it there once again for at least 30 seconds, using weight to progress yourself even further. Something else that you can do is you can actually wedge something underneath your big toe as you perform these stretches, so you can actually work on your big toe mobility as well as stretching out your plantar flexors at the same time. To improve both dorsiflexion range as well as overall strength in your ankle and foot, one of my favorite exercises is an eccentric heel drop off a step with the focus on the downwards phase. Not only does this exercise focus on improving dorsiflexion range, but also helps strengthen the muscles around it as well. The third batch of exercises are to help strengthen up the tibialis posterior muscle. According to a biomechanical study by Fullerton et al., the tibialis posterior was found to be the most important structure for maintaining the height of the medial arch of the foot. And it's important for the body to optimally absorb shock as it makes impact on the ground, and thereby reducing the stress through the plantar fascia, and as a result, hopefully reducing the risk of plantar fasciitis. The tibialis posterior can be strengthened through ankle inversion exercises, such as raising the foot up and towards yourself in a cross-legged position. For progressions, you can add a resistance band to make it a bit more challenging. Try to emphasize the eccentric phase where you lower the foot back slowly rather than letting it drop quickly. Aim for a high repetition for about 20 to 30 for about 3 sets a day for good stimulation. A functional exercise is by simply being able to stand on one leg, aiming to stand in a neutral foot position where the Achilles is completely straight without being overpronated or oversupinated. You can progress by standing on more uneven surfaces like a folded up towel or pillow, or even challenge yourself further by closing your eyes. The fourth set of exercises to help improve peroneal strength. Another important muscle group are the peroneal muscles located on the outer side of the leg, which extend down to the ankle and foot. The peroneal longus is especially crucial for helping you leverage toe extension as well as arch support. There are multiple exercises that can help to strengthen up the peroneals. If you don't have any equipment, the easiest way would be to evert the foot up and towards yourself in a side lying position. Given the low intensity nature of this exercise, you want to aim for at least 30 repetitions a day for multiple sets. In my opinion, the best way to target the peroneal muscles are through resistance band exercises. And there are 3 particular exercises that I've given to my patients that's helped them overcome their plantar fasciitis. The first one is resisted eversion with a band around each foot. You want to simultaneously bring the foot up and towards yourself as you resist and push out against the band. One of the most common mistakes I see is that the hip and knee move along with the foot. To prevent this, you want to make sure that the hip and knee stay still by using hands and locking it around your knee to isolate the movement around your ankle only. With this exercise, you want to aim for at least 15 to 20 repetitions for 3 sets a day. The next exercise is performing calf raises with the band around the feet. While standing over the edge of the step, you want to lift your heel above the step and slowly lower underneath the edge. Make sure the ankle is positioned vertically and that the heels are not too close towards each other or too away from each other. This is a great way to help improve your dorsiflexion range of motion while strengthening your peroneal muscle at the same time. Once again, I'll be aiming for about 15-20 repetitions for 3 sets a day. The last exercise to help you strengthen the peroneals is a single leg balance with inversion resistance. You can set this up by tying one band of the resistance band to a solid object like a table leg or a veranda pole and the other to the outside of the ankle. You want to start the exercise by standing on one leg and focus on standing upright without holding onto anything for at least 30 seconds. Make sure to keep the ankle and foot in a neutral position for as long as you can. Your 5th and final set of exercises are there to help stabilize and strengthen your hip and knee. Although not seemingly directly relevant, strengthening the hip and knee is going to help you with your plantar fascia. A literature review by Komonsky et al. Describes the importance of the hip and knee. A reduction in the strength of these muscles can lead to abduction and medial rotation of the hip and dynamic knee valgus, which is related to pronation of the foot. The strengthening of the abductor and lateral rotator muscles of the hips may improve dynamic alignment of the lower limbs and alleviate pain related to dynamic valgus. If we break it down to casual terms, the hip and knees work in synchrony with what happens at the ankle and foot. Weak hip abductors and external rotators can impact the alignment of the leg all the way down to the foot. And this includes the ability of the foot to pronate properly in order to absorb any impact through the leg. There are several exercises that can help you strengthen the hip musculature, particularly the important hip abductors and external rotators. The first being your clams, which help focus on your external rotators, such as your gluteus maximus, as well as your deep hip rotators. As you're performing these, you want to try and feel a strong contraction in your bottom. It's important to complete each repetition slowly, making sure you drop the leg slowly down towards the other knee before you lift upwards. The biggest mistake I see is that patients rotating the torso, so make sure to only move your hip. You can progress this by adding in a resistance band. Similarly, you have hip abduction in side lying, lifting a straight leg up towards the roof and slowly lowering down. You want to feel the contraction along the side of your hip, and once again you can add a resistance band to progress yourself further. For more functional exercise, I recommend standing weight-bearing exercises which incorporate the whole leg. The first being crab walks, where your focus is walking sideways with a band around each ankle. Focus on generating all the movement through the hip and keep the torso upright. Finally, we have the Bulgarian split squat, the ultimate test of strength for your whole leg, starting from your hip all the way down to your toe. There is enormous engagement of the abductors and external rotators, which are needed to keep the hip stable as you move through your full range of motion. Once again, you want to keep your torso and hips upright for the whole movement. You can progressively challenge yourself by holding a weight in the opposite arm. Repetitions and sets will vary from person to person depending on your objectives. These type of neuromuscular control exercises should be performed for at least 15 repetitions for 3 sets a day. Making sure to adding extra weight, increasing your volume or intensity to make sure you provide enough stimulus for your body to adapt and become more efficient with its movements. And remember, this is not medical advice. Everybody's different circumstances, different anatomy, different objectives to get back into after they've recovered from plantar fasciitis. If you like what you saw in this video, you can watch the full video by clicking on here or in the description below. Thank you again for watching this video. We greatly appreciate if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel to continue getting ongoing free content about all things musculoskeletal health.